Welcome to House of Tay. Today we have a special guest, Richie. Hi,
Hi,
Richie.
สวัสดีครับ
Tell me about yourself.
I am a Thai American actor, model, and animal activist.
So you're vegan.
Yes,
What's that?
a compassionate lifestyle based on doing as little harm as possible to all living beings.
So what do you mean by vegan? What do you eat?
Pasta, pizza, everything that everyone else eats, just
It
without
has to come from plants.
has to
only.
come from plants.
So what are the misconceptions about vegans?
So many. And they're generally all wrong. They think that vegans are weak, they're feeble, they're not getting all their nutrition, they're lacking in protein, inconsistent, that they're sneaky. There's so many myths, but I encourage people to just give it a shot. And I think, like, with you and I, we've gone to a couple meals now and you've tried a few of the
Vegan dishes, yeah.
and you enjoyed it.
I know. For me personally, I don't think it's that difficult to practice to be a vegan, but I would think about it.
I appreciate
I'm
that.
thinking, I'm once a week or something, I would be compassionate about this.
And I think that's great. It's like every journey starts with a step, right?
know.
I'm very appreciative of you trying out vegan dishes and giving it a shot. And I think it's all about exposure,
I honestly can tell you that it's not that bad.
Yes, exactly.
There are some good dishes.
Yes, the vegan options at the first anniversary of House of Tay, delicious. They were amazing. And thank you so much for providing vegan options. They were so good.
For people who haven't tried vegan food, what do you say to them?
I would say that it's a lot easier and a lot more tasty than people give it credit for. If we frame our minds and tell ourselves that something's difficult, it will be. But if we tell ourselves that it's easy and that we actually don't give anything up, when they're exposed to new things, they realize that you take a lot of the fuel out of kind of the fire. Hatred or like this aversion or this like kind of preconception or prejudice that you have. Once you actually try something out, you realize it's actually not that bad. Recalibrate our minds. It becomes a lot easier. And it's honestly the best thing I've done for my health, for the planet, and for the animals.
Have you ever been judged by being a vegan?
There's such a misconception about meat and masculinity. Being a real man is like hunting and gathering and pillaging and taking advantage. I'm bullied all the time. I'm called a soy boy. I'm a weakling. But I try to walk the talk and show in my daily life that we can live amazing, vital lives and you can still be strong and masculine and healthy without harming living beings. And the best way to actually advocate for animals is through our daily lives. And for me, the true measure of a man is actually looking after rather than taking advantage.
Have you ever had to choose between values and comfort?
The greatest things in life involve sacrifice. I will always choose values over comfort, where these animals are literally caged in small spaces where they can barely move. They can't even connect with their loved ones, where their beaks are seared so that they don't go crazy pecking at each other. I think of the suffering that they have, and I realize that any little discomfort that I have is momentary. We have an opportunity 3 times a day to practice peace and compassion on our plates. And if we can't forego that simple pleasure for like 10, 15 minutes and explore other options, how can we possibly encourage and facilitate peace in the world if we can't even practice peace on our plates?
So is veganism a lifestyle or something deeper?
So for me, it's a lifestyle, it's a practice, it's a reminder that I'm just merely a drop in this world, and that instead of thinking simply about myself, just that, and have concern for other living beings.
Beyond yourself.
Yeah.
Where does compassion begin? Within yourself or for other people?
You have to truly look within yourself and reflect on the things that matter to you. Once you do that and you have compassion for yourself, understanding for your weaknesses and your strengths, and you recognize the areas where you maybe fail at times, but you can improve on, you start to have a greater empathy for other people that are different than you. And you recognize that just because people or beings look and think and move and they have, beaks instead of mouths, or they have feathers instead of skin, it doesn't make them any less worthy of our compassion and respect. The one thing that I dislike the most in life is a bully. Myself as a child, I recognize the pain that comes with that you're treated differently just because you're different. You're treated less than. And I feel that in this day and age, the next frontier of justice is actually the animal movement, the vegan movement of extending compassion to those that are different than us. All beings are worthy of our protection, love, and respect. And that I can always do better. We all can do better.
What's something veganism has healed you?
Through veganism, I've strived to extend beyond myself and to have greater empathy for my fellow humans, for my fellow living beings. I just feel so much happier and more fulfilled being in service of other beings and not just thinking about myself. It has taken me outside of my own comfort zones and forced me to step into other people's shoes or hooves or recognize like the struggles that other people face. And that's something that has really humanized me in a way.
What would a truly compassionate world be?
Would be one where we look after rather than exploit our fellow living beings. That we recognize the intrinsic value of every life, and we recognize that families come in all different shapes and forms and sizes. Sometimes certain beings and certain families, they swim or they fly or they walk. It's not about establishing this hierarchy of like humans are important or dogs are more important than whatever. If we truly want to practice peace and compassion, we have to extend it to all living beings, because an injustice against one is a stain against us all.
You cannot discriminate,
I think there's no need to, because it's not a zero-sum game in life.
and you can choose yourself.
Exactly. I think every day presents us with an opportunity to improve ourselves, to leave a lasting positive imprint on the world.
So let's talk about aging now.
Okay.
How do you feel about aging?
I feel conflicted. There are times where I'm very much at peace with the idea that, you know, the signs of time are the ravaging of time is like kind of accumulating and being reflected. But I also take it as a badge of honor, you know, like every wrinkle, every crease is a reflection of the life that I've lived and the journey that I've been on. I'm a 45-year-old man, and I think that I actually look pretty damn good for my age. And I think I just try to own that.
Embrace it.
Exactly. You are what you are, and trying to be 10 years younger, 15 years younger, but you just have to be yourself and be proud of yourself and be comfortable in your own skin.
So what do you mean age with grace?
There are things that we can do in our everyday lives to combat the signs of time as much as possible. We can like do masks and self-care and gua sha and things like that to actually like stay as youthful as possible. But I also think that it's important to recognize who you are and what you offer, and recognize where you are in this point in life. Looking within yourself and recognizing the beauty that we all have inside, because it all comes shining from within.
Are you proud of yourself more today?
I think so. I think that I strive every day to be a force of good in the world. And I do feel a sense of pride, encouraging friends to move in the right direction and to better myself and to be a positive change in the world.
So for people watching today, what message you want to send across?
Be their best selves, to reflect truly on what matters in your life. Take steps to move yourself in the right direction of compassion, kindness, and positivity. You'll all be better versions of yourself for that. Better fathers, better brothers, better friends. I think it's important that we recognize that we can choose to be kind or we can choose to be cruel. And it's heck of a lot better to be kind.
Thank you so much today, Richie.
ขอบคุณมากครับ
One vegan dish a day for me.
Yay! That's already a victory. I'm very happy for you and very proud of you.
Bye.
If you enjoyed our interview today, please like, comment, and subscribe to Taylor Srirat.